Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So in this series of Git tutorials, today you will be learning some of the most powerful intermediate Git commands used by developers, DevOps engineers, and automation testers in the real world project. So in this video, we'll be covering some of the commands on Git Diff, which compares the changes between the files, commits, and the branches. Then we have git blame, which identifies who changed the specific line and when. Then we do have git bisect to find the exact commit that introduced a bug. Then we do have git cherry pick, which commits the copy from one branch to the another. Then we have git alias that creates shortcuts for the frequently used git commands. Then we will also be learning about git tags. So whether you are a beginner moving to intermediate Git skills or an experienced developer looking to improve your workflow, this tutorial will help you understanding these commands with practical examples. So let's get into that. So first we will try to understand what actually is git diff, which compares the changes before the commit. So whenever you staged some specific changes which you made, so if you do git diff, it gives you with the changes, whatever it is there. Then we do have git blame. So it allows you to give the author details like who changed the file, when it was changed, and why it was changed. So all these details, it helps you to track what is changed by who. Then we do have git bisect. So basically it is a kind of binary search for bug commits. So this allows you to identify the good commits and the bad commits. It allows you to track the changes where it is broken so that you can revert those changes back. So that is git bisect. Then we do have git cherry pick. So for example, if you want to apply a commit from one branch to another branch, so in that case you can do a git cherry pick. Then we do have git tag that allows you to create a tagged version for a particular branch so that it will identify the release versions and so on. Then finally, we will also be understanding about git aliases that gives you with the shortcuts for the frequently used commands. So it means, there are git commit, git add, okay, git merge. So this kind of commands. So what you can do is you can just create a shorter version of that commands so that you need not type the entire command again. Okay, so now let's see what actually is git diff. So as the name itself indicates, it shows you with what is being changed. So it shows exact line by line changes before staging, after staging, or between any two commits. So let us try to understand how you can use this git diff command. So here we do have git space diff, and so whenever you do it, so if there are any unstaged changes, so what it does is it will show you with the difference. See, this is uh, one which is already there. Then this is the change which you have already made and you have added it to the staging. So whenever you try to commit, the one that is green in will be committed and the one that is in red will be ignored. So this is how you will be checking the git diff command. Okay. So let us try to understand the different variations of a diff command. So git diff, it gives you with the changes between the unstaged changes with the changes that is present in the working directory. Then we do have git space diff space minus minus staged. So it gives you with the changes that are staged versus last commit. Then we do have git space diff space head. So it gives you with the all the changes that are there versus the changes that are present in the last commit. Then we will be having git diff command that allows you to compare the changes between two branches. Then if you want to find out the differences between last three commits with the current commit, I mean current latest commit, that also you can do it by this command. So here head tilde operator 3, it represents last three commits, and head represents the most recent commit. Then if you want to print the summary for all the differences, then you can use git space diff space minus minus stat. So these are the different variations of diff command that allows you to see what is being changed. So then you have git blame. So this allows you to find out who has changed. So who is the author, who has changed, and when is being changed, and so on. So if you do, for example, this is the file. So if you do git space blame space auth.js, let us consider you are trying to find out what are the modifications that are made to auth.js and who has changed it. So whenever you type in this command, so it will give you with the list of commit IDs and who is the author who has made this commit and when is that change being made. Okay, and so on. So this kind of changes you will be able to see. Now, if you want to see the changes between a specific lines, like the starting point and the ending point for a specific file, that also you can do it by using this command git space blame space minus l 10 comma 20 all.js. So this means what is being changed, who has changed the lines between 10 to 20 in this all.js. This also you can find it out. Then if you want to ignore the white space changes, whatever it is there for a cleaner output, then you can also use -w. So git space blame space -w auth.js. So basically why this blame is used, it is used to understand why a line exists, who has changed it, okay, all those things. Okay, so this is allows us to track the changes that is being made. Then we do have Git Bisect, which is nothing but binary search for bugs. So when I say binary search for bugs, it doesn't actually find out the bugs like the testers do. It actually finds out the wrong commit that is contributing to the failure of that particular run. So for example, let us try to understand this visual example. Here we do have a good commit, guys. Here we have some commits in between. Here then again we do have a good commit. Then we are testing something here. Then we have some series of bad commits. So what you can do is, so you can remove those bad commits and with the good commit you can test your code. So in that case, what will happen is you can always skip the multiple commits that are there. The one that is there in the question mark, that can be skipped. So how it works? So here you are going to test the middle part. See, the middle part you are going to test. So test the middle of half. Then step 3, test middle of the quarter. So how the binary search works? So initially you will be dividing the numbers into two equal parts. Then you will be testing that you will be searching for something in that parts. Then once that search is found, then you will be further dividing that into multiple halves, like quarters, two quarters. So this kind of things, it narrows down the amount of iterations that you need to do. Okay. So for example, let us try to understand the hands-on sessions. See, first you are going to type in the command git space bisect space start, which begins the bisecting. Then, for example, if the commit is broken, you need to mark that. See, for example, current commit, it is failing, correct? So then you need to find out what is the previous commit where it was working, correct? So in that case, what you can do is the correct commit, you can always do it by using git space bisect space bad. Okay, so you can mark this commit as bad. Then you can go back to the older commit and you can try it with by giving some hash id, some commit hash id, previous commit hash id. So that can be given by using git space bisect space good space commit id. So this gives you to find out what is the older commit that has been worked. Then once you have given, you can always test it, correct, by running the specific command. For example, you are running a Python file, correct? So in that case, you can just do it python space filename.py. So what it does is, if see bisect good commit id is there, right? So it will execute the code until that particular commit id and it will run that particular file. Now, once everything is done and it is tested and it is working fine, then you can always do the git bisect reset. So it means exiting out of the bisecting. Or if you feel like you want to stop this, okay, you don't want to start this bisecting process, in that case what you can do is you can also do git space bisect space reset to go back to the original version. Okay, so what this bisect does is it halves your search space each step. So for example, if there are 1000 commits, what you can do using this bisecting, only 10 tests is needed in order to find out the good commit out of this 1000 commits. Okay, yeah. Then, so this is how the exact practical hands-on session looks like in terms of visual representation. First, you will be doing git bisect start. Then you will be doing git bisect bad. It automatically points to the current commit that tells the git that current commit, latest commit, whatever it is there, it is broken. Then we do have git space bisect space good and the commit ID. So this is the old commit that worked, correct? So in that case, so here it will display something like bisecting 12 revisions left to test. Okay. Then if you want to test the current code, so you can do git bisect bad. So it will show you with the bisecting 6 revisions left to test. So it won't be always 6 revisions. So it all depends on the number of commits. Okay. Then if you want to test it again by adding a good commit, so you can do git space bisect space good. So what it does is it will execute that particular file with this particular commit ID A3F1C2B. Okay. Then we will also be trying out git bisect bad again. So after this good commit, if there are any bad commits, so that also you can test it. Okay. So once this process is done, you can always do it git bisect reset. Okay. So this is how the bisect looks like. So in short, it is a kind of binary search to find out the bad commits where it is broken, and also to find out the good commits and to test the changes with the good commit. Then we have git cherry pick, which is one of the most important advanced concepts which we'll be using in our day-to-day activities. So what git cherry pick does is it will pick and apply the changes from one branch to another branch. So as the definition itself indicates, it will take a single commit from one branch and apply it to another branch. So without merging the whole branch. So if you want to merge the whole branch, you can do that. Instead, if you don't want the entire changes that are present in the second branch, but you just want to have a single commit from that branch, in that case, what you can do is you can always do a cherry pick. What it does, it will get that commit and it will get all those changes that are present inside that commit, and it will apply to the branch. So now if you see here, we have this visual representation. Here we do have a main branch. Okay. So with all these changes, then we have this fixed branch. Okay. Then we do have a feature branch. So now if you want to add this fixed branch, okay, to this feature branch, so you can always add it. Okay, so this is how you will be doing the cherry pick. So you will be first switching to that main branch. You will be cherry picking by adding the commit ID. Then you will be applying it to the feature branch. So this is how it looks. So this is the command git space cherry pick and the commit ID. Okay, so this is how. So if you want to add multiple commit IDs, that also you can do it by using git space cherry hyphen pick, then commit ID 1 and commit ID 2. This is how you will be cherry picking. So now let us try to understand what are the use cases where this git cherry pick can be used. So it will be used whenever you want to apply a hot fix that is needed on multiple branches. What this means, here there is an fix that is being made in the main branch. Now if you want this fix or these changes that are not present in the other branches, but you want to add that fix to the other branches or multiple branches, in that case you can do the cherry pick. How it works? It copies the commit content. It creates a new hash ID. So it means what it does, it will create this commit ID and it will copy it into this feature branch. And in this feature branch, it will create it with a new commit ID. So this commit ID and this commit ID will be different because this is the different branch. Okay. Yeah, so downside, what it will happen, same change. See, whatever is there inside this, it will come over here. Both will be the same, but the only difference is different commit ID so that it avoids the duplications. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So next concept is Git tag. So where you can mark the releases and whatever milestones you have done. So for example, these are the labels that you will be giving to the branches. So for example, in most of our day-to-day scenarios, we'll be seeing, right, version 1.0, version 2.4.3, or a release 2025 quarter 4. These are some of the basic examples of tags which we can give. So now let us try to understand what are the various commands that you can use. So first, in order to list all the tags, you can always use git space tag command that prints you with the list of tags that are being created. Okay. Now, if you want to create a lightweight tag, in that case, you can just give git space tag name. So what it does, it will create a tag with this particular version. Now the next command is if you want to create an annotated tag. So it means if you want to create a tag with some specific description, that also you can do it by using this particular command, git space tag space minus a, then the version of that particular tag, then minus m, then the description of that particular tag. Okay. Then if you want to tag a old commit, okay, for example, there is git space tag space minus a, then this is the version. And if you want to tag this particular commit to this particular tag, so that also you can do it. This is how you will be doing it. Then if you want to push the tag, so for example, you have created a tag and you want to push these tags, okay, to the remote branch. So that can be done by using git space push space origin space minus minus tags. Okay. Now, basically there are two types of tags, guys. So there is a lightweight tag and there is an annotated tag. So most of the times we'll be using the annotated tag because see, lightweight tag, it is just a pointer to the commit. So it is easy to create, but there is no author, there is no date, or there won't be any message details of that particular tag. So this is basically used for the temporary marking. But most frequently used is annotated tag. What is nothing but it is a full Git object with a metadata. So whenever you create an annotated tag, it will give you with the author, the date on which the tag is created, and what is the message, and some other details, GPG signature, all those things. Then basically this is used for releases. So basically whenever you want to create a release, you can just create an annotated tag and you can tag it to that particular branch and you can release it. So this is all about the tags. Then we do have Git aliases. So as the name itself indicates, alias is nothing but you can type less and do more. So it means in day-to-day activities, you will be typing multiple commands, right? You will be checking out to the branch, you will be creating a new branch, you will be listing the branches, you will be checking the status of the commits, and you will be committing something, you will be checking the logs, many things you are going to do with that. So in our day-to-day activities, this commit, add, all these things, we need to do it hundreds of times, correct? So if you want to make a shorter version of that commit command or any other git command, you can always use alias. So how you can do that? First, you need to set that alias in the configurations. So how you can do that? Git space config space minus minus global, then alias dot short name. Then you can give the full command. So let us try to understand with example. Git space config space minus minus global alias dot co checkout. So what it does, it will understand that instead of typing full checkout, git space checkout, you can always do git space co because that is the alias. So one of the standard recommended aliases which we can give, see for example checkout, you can give git space co. Then if you want to list all the branches, you can do just git space br. So how these commands work? Only after you specify this alias. Okay, all these commands works. So this is all about aliases. So let us try to understand the hands-on session using all the tools together. Okay, first git diff. So if you want to check with the last but one commit with the latest commit, you can always do that. So this is or.js. There are 12 lines changed, 12 lines added. Then blame. So you can use blame to find out who has used that. I mean, who has modified that code, who has added that code, all those things. So this is how you will be using the blame command. Then, as I said, bisect, it is used to do the binary search, okay, to find out the bad commits and the good commits, so that you can always restore the working version of your application. Then cherry pick is nothing but you need to switch to that branch, whatever hotfix branch or whatever it is there. Then you can pick the commit ID from that particular branch, this hotfix branch in this case. Okay. Now let us try to understand which tool you need to use for what kind of use case. If you want to see exactly what has been changed, you can do that by using git space diff. Okay. Now the same thing, if you want to see the difference before committing something, you can always do that by using git space diff space minus minus stage. Now, if you want to compare your branch, your feature branch with the main branch, you can always do that by using git space diff space main branch, then space, then feature branch. Okay. Then if you want to find out who has written or who has modified a particular line of code, you can always do that by using git space blame space file name. Okay. Then if you want to find out which commit broke the build, so you can always do that by using git space bisect space. If you want to start the bisecting process, you can do that by using git space bisect space start. If you want to apply a good commit, you can always do that by using git space bisect space good. And if you want to mark the bad commit, you can always do that by using git space bisect space bad. Okay, this allows you to find out the commit which broke the build. Now, if you want to apply a hotfix to the multiple branches, you can always switch to that hotfix branch. Then you can add that cherry pick. You can pick up that particular commit ID and you can add it to the multiple branches. Then if you want to mark a release version, you can always do that by creating an annotated tag. So here annotated tag can be created by using git space tag space minus a, and this is the version and this is the name of that particular tag. Okay, release is the tag and it is being tagged to 1.0.0. Then if you want to speed up the typing of lengthy commands, you can always do that by specifying the shortcut git space config space alias dot short name. Okay, so here what it creates is it will create a shorter version of that particular command. Then in our day-to-day activities, like what are the various commands, what we will be doing is you can always do the check the differences before the committing by using this command. If you want to check the list of commits that are made by a developer for a particular file, you can use this command. If you want to bisect it, if you want to find out the wrong commits, good commits, all those things, you can always run the bisect. Then if you want to add a commit to the various branches, multiple branches, you can always do the cherry pick. And if you want to tag a release, you can always do by using git space tag. You can always create an lightweighted tag or the annotated tag. But annotated tag is the one that we'll be using in our day-to-day activities. Then if once the tag is created, if you want to push the tag, so see, one important thing here to remember is that whenever you create a tag in your local, that stays in the local. If you want to add that tag to the remote repository in the GitHub, you need to push the tag. Okay, so that can be done by using git space push space origin hyphen hyphen tags. So whatever tags that are not present in the remote repository, that will be pushed. Now, if you want to give an alias to a particular command, you can always do that by using git space config space minus minus global alias dot command name. Okay. Now, if you want to print the logs for the various commands, so you can always do that by using stat. Okay, stat hyphen hyphen stat. So now that the session is done, let us try to summarize it. So with some quick questions. So what is the difference between git diff and git diff stage? So git diff is nothing but it is shows the unstaged changes, whereas diff minus minus stage, it shows what is about to be committed and it will show you with the differences. How does Git bisect save time versus manual searching? See, for example, manual searching, if there are 1,000 commits, you have to search it commit by commit. Whereas bisect, what it does is it halves the amount of search. So, for example, for 1,000 commits, you only need to test it 10 times. Whereas, if you are doing manual searching, you need to test it 1,000 times because you don't know what is a good commit and what is a bad commit. Okay. Then when should you use cherry pick instead of merge? So merging is nothing but if it allows you to merge the entire code from one branch to another branch. Whereas cherry pick is nothing but it is a kind of hot fix where you can apply one commit into multiple branches. So what's wrong with git push after creating a tag? So tags don't push by default. So you need to use git push. As I said in the earlier slide, whenever you create a tag, it stays in the local. So if you want to push it to the remote repository, you can always do that by using git space push space minus minus tags. If you want to push all the tags, or if you want to push a specific tag, you can always do that by using git push space origin space tag name. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. Now you can claim yourself as an intermediate Git user. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned for more content. Thank you.